no one felt the first jolt. And that was the scariest thing. In the middle of New York's Times Square, amidst thousands of people, flashing screens, noise, music, and lights, a skinny boy was being humiliated, pushed, and mocked. And everyone was walking away. Then a voice rang out. Enough is enough. And at that moment, the crowd had to make a decision. Times Square never sleeps. It screams. Giant screens, neon lights, advertisements that blind the eyes everywhere. Tourists holding mobile phones, street performers dancing, singing, making noise. Taxi horns, police whistles, people laughing. In this noise, Ethan Miller felt completely alone. A 17-year-old boy. A frail body. A large hoodie. A backpack slung over his shoulders like a shield. He was standing by the red steps, fingering his phone as if he were watching something, even though the screen had been off for a long time. Ethan wasn't waiting for anyone. He was just waiting for time to pass. His mother worked 2 shifts at a diner in Brooklyn. His father had left home years ago. After school, Ethan often took the subway to Manhattan. Not for fun, not for a hobby. Just to get away from home. At school, he was the quiet boy. Not in sports, not in parties, not in any groups. And today, all he had thought about was standing in Times Square and feeling like a normal person. But fate had other plans. 3 boys. At first, there was only laughter. Then voices came closer. Shiny jackets, expensive shoes, a confident tone. They were laughing, pushing each other. And then, their eyes fell on Ethan. "Oh, look at this," one said, laughing. Ethan's heart sank. He recognized the eyes. These were the eyes that had seen him before in the classroom. These were the eyes that thought he was weak. "What happened, can't speak?" the other said sarcastically. Ethan lowered his eyes. Maybe if he kept quiet, they would leave. But it didn't. One of the boys tugged at his backpack. Ethan staggered. "Can't you see?" The third laughed out loud. People were passing by. Some looked. Some glanced away. No one stopped. Ethan's ears began to burn. His heart was beating fast. Then came the wind that breaks every victim. People like you always get in the way. A push. Ethan fell to the ground. And the crowd just watched. Ethan sat on the ground. The New York street was cold beneath him. The crowd's footsteps were passing him. Someone took out a cell phone. Someone laughed and made a video. Someone looked away. It wasn't the push that hurt the most. It was the silence. The feeling that, even among so many people, he was completely alone. "Can't you get up?" a boy said, leaning towards him. Ethan tried, but his legs were shaking. At that moment, a voice came. Deep. Clear. Confident. "Stop." Everything stopped. The 3 boys turned. A woman stepped forward from the crowd. Around 40 years old. Simple clothes. Anger and sympathy in her eyes at the same time. "Aren't you guys ashamed?" he said loudly. For a moment everyone was silent. Then another voice. "That's wrong." Then another. "Leave her alone." An elderly man stepped forward. Then a young man. Then a mother with her child. The silence was breaking. The crowd was changing. The 3 boys began to back away. Now they were alone. And Ethan. He was no longer on the ground. 2 hands were on his shoulders. "Come on, son." Someone pulled him to his feet. Ethan stood. No more noise in his ears. Peace in his heart. The crowd stood around him. A circle, a shield. The boys turned away. Someone was clapping. Someone was wiping away tears. The woman looked into Ethan's eyes and said, "You are not alone." Never. Ethan's lips trembled. He cried years later. Not out of shame. Not out of gratitude. Conclusion: a story, a lesson. The videos of that day went viral. People wrote in the comments, "I won't stay silent anymore either. Kindness is not weakness, it's strength. The crowd also has a heart, you just have to wake it up." Ethan's life changed. But more than that, the crowd changed. Finally, a request read: Heart. If you believe that silence against oppression is a crime, and kindness is the greatest power, then write in the comments, "Kindness protects." And for such stories, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.